Hi guys, Jo here. Hope you're all doing really well today. So I wanted to pop in and talk about the energy that we share with when we are creating human connection and creating content is super important. As I think a few of us have mentioned this week, when we're feeling really off, when we're feeling really unaligned, when we're in that liminal space, that kind of in-betweeny place where you feel like your brain's not working, you just can't think of any ideas, you don't feel aligned, you don't feel really powerful and on purpose, it's really hard to share from that space. So don't force yourself to, don't force a message to come through. It will take you longer, it will feel really painful, it will just feel as if you're putting yourself out there in a way that doesn't feel aligned. And everybody here, we're all change makers. We are people who have a soul purpose, who are out in the world sharing a message, sharing our purpose to create change. And if you are putting out your energy in a way that just feels heavy and unaligned and difficult and problematic and you don't want to be sharing, then don't. And if you are someone who is here to create change in the world, you are here with a soul purpose, you are here to have a ripple effect, you need to be really mindful about the energy that you share with. So if you are sharing a post, even a video like this, if you are sharing a podcast, if you are even writing something to put out into the world, be mindful of the energy that you have when you are creating it. If you're feeling heavy and tired and angry or anxious or fearful or any of that stuff, that will come through in what you're sharing. Okay, so, and also if you are sharing from that energy of real connection to yourself, you're out there making an impact, and then you go into the space of, I'm back in that mucky, I'm back in that murky, right? Then repurpose from when you were in that space of fully connected and energized and powerful. When you were in that space, you can now create quotes from the stuff you said then. You can repurpose your videos, you can reshare in a different way that message. And it's so much better to use stuff that you created when you're in that space than to keep fighting through to show up every day when you're not connected, because that stuff, you can tell when someone's just creating things because they feel they have to, or because they feel they should, or because they feel forced. You can be consistent, but you can actually do it in a way where you are repurposing from that place of really connected energy. So be mindful of how you share, repurpose from when you are in that space, be mindful of how you respond and how you feel, if like the state that you are in when you are responding. Also, as importantly, be mindful of the energy that you respond with. And I was reminded of this yesterday when I happened to be scrolling through mindlessly. I wasn't connected to myself, and someone had left a comment that was quite, not hurtful, but put me into a state where I wasn't about to respond in a really loving, kind way, right? So if you are just mindlessly scrolling, which we all do, we all catch ourselves in those moments of just in between tasks or whatever, you're just having a scroll. If someone says something to you that can be hurtful, you are not as set up to respond as if you are purposefully setting aside time to be mindful of how you respond. So if you are grounded, if you are in a place of compassion, you've connected to yourself, you're ready for pretty much whatever someone says to you, then you can respond in a different way and you will be less thrown off by people saying whatever they will to you. Because if we're in this public space, people can and will respond in however they wish to. It's an act of courage to be visible. It's an act of courage to go out into the arena, whether you're speaking to a few people, a room full of people, an arena full of people. So this person on Instagram was so fed up with what I'd put, right? So I checked it in a moment of scroll, right? So I was scrolling through
which is a bad habit because I'm receiving energy that other people are putting out into the world when I'm perhaps vulnerable, when I haven't set an intention to be mindful and loving and present for all those people who are there, perhaps commenting on my stuff. And remember, when you're putting stuff out into the world, you are being vulnerable. You are showing up with courage, because it takes courage to do a podcast, to write a post, to share something from your soul, right? And then if you read a post, if you read a comment from a post where someone has said something in an energy that's quite hurtful, then it can take a lot of work for us to unpack that and to get down off of the vulnerability train and to do the work of feeling like you don't want to go on social media anymore, that you don't want to be public. If you are here with your sole purpose work to make a difference in the world, then being visible is part of that, no matter how large the group. Whether you're speaking to a handful of people, a room full of people, and a stadium full of people, speaking to, like, reaching people and creating human connection is part of your soul purpose work if you are a change maker. I know that everybody here is. So be mindful of the energy that you share with, and be mindful of the energy that you read and reconnect with. So look at your scrolling habits, look at whether you are engaging on any platform from a place of mindlessness. I'm guilty of this. I have to really connect with myself and check in with what I'm doing, because a random comment, a random mention, something that's hurtful can really drag you down, okay? Whereas if you are grounded in a place of love and compassion and you're ready for whatever anyone could say to you because you are completely standing in your purpose, that's really, really different. You come from that place of love and compassion for everyone, and you can deal with whatever is thrown at you. So be mindful of the energy that you share with, be mindful of the energy that you read and comment with. I hope that helps, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you are finding creating from a place of connection to yourself, and what can you set up to ensure that you are not rolling and scrolling mindlessly and therefore open to energy that may or may not be great for you. Can you set limits on your apps? Can you make sure that you are only engaging in response stuff when you are in that space? Can you allow yourself to switch off completely if you are not in a great space?